Carmen is to be trusted. You guys have already brought snacks for testing tomorrow. Snacks or for whenever. But you guys brought snacks to the classroom.
For tomorrow? Or for tonight? I'm sorry, you're talking about
I'm talking about the testing for the classroom.
Yeah, we sent in some snacks. Now,
okay.
I'll have to check with Julie to remember how much. Like, was it one day or was it... But we did send in some stuff.
Well, we brought in stuff for today.
Oh, good.
And Chris Johnson was going to bring in some, but she hasn't bought anything yet. I told her, don't go out.
Julie's the one who did the shopping.
I just wanted to make sure they made it into the classroom, and I think they did. I know. Well, Carmen's pretty reliable about these things.
So she reported it back then.
Yeah, but I always try to confirm these things. She calls me. She walks Jack for karate on Mondays and Wednesdays, and apparently now she's walking Raphael over as well. But nobody told her. I guess there's just a mix-up in communication. So she calls me. Yeah, she used to do it, and then they stopped doing it, and then Maria talked to John last night. And I think John forgot to tell her, or something. I think it was our fault, actually. But God bless her, she calls me on my cell phone at work. She says, Rafi says I'm supposed to take my Jack says I'm supposed to take Rafi, and they're such liars. Did you hear this?
So she called
you didn't tell Carmen she was supposed to take Rafi.
Higher authority to make sure it was true.
Yes.
That's good.
I was like, good one for checking. Because she didn't know Rafi and Jack told her she was supposed to take Rafi. She was so funny. She said, "You're such liars." Are not.
LSC members all here.
This fifth grade thing.
Is Monica here?
We usually leave her alone now sometimes. It's like freedom. Yeah. So you're taping this whole thing?
Might as well.
You're right. Yep.
Everybody on it. The Friday one was not.
Oh, it did?
The presentation. On the parents that we got more the reporting up.
Yeah.
John, how's it going?
Okay. Vamos a empezar. Okay, we're going to begin and take the next point on the agenda. And this is just for us anyway, so I'm going to start. They don't like this because I got back to you, I'm talking to them. Okay. LSC member. I had heard from several people that we haven't had an opportunity to discuss things. No, for us to discuss things. We're going to begin the meeting now. So, what different proposals there would be for the selection committee. And at the end of the meeting last week, we were not ready to vote because people wanted to talk about that process. So I would like for us to talk about the process right now and what the different proposals are. I'm sorry. That. Okay. But it is an open meeting. I'm just saying that I've heard from LSC members that we need an opportunity amongst ourselves to discuss what is before us, the principal selection committee. And so we're going to take time now to talk about that. And then we will open up for comments, but we're going to begin with the discussion amongst ourselves as to what the different options we might have.
think first there was a request at least to let everyone know here that, that there is a video camera here tonight and the proceedings are being recorded. So I just want to let everyone know if there's any concerns, whatever. It is an open meeting, so someone has chosen to bring a video camera and videotape the event. So I just want to let everyone know, just in case, for whatever reason, just want to let everyone know so that there's no privacy concerns or whatever. But there is a video camera and this is being videotaped and audio taped. So.
Okay, and then we'll
What
ask John.
happens to it after it's taped?
I brought a tape. A number of people that couldn't be here wanted to know, so I'll make copies available to the LSC and at the school. I can just make CDs of it for anyone who wants one.
And that is legal. I mean,
Yeah,
it's an open meeting, and so.
Yeah.
How that's going to be used.
Yeah, somebody videotaped when we had our Friday meeting with all the parents too. So, but definitely anyone who wants one, they'll be available to you guys on the LSC, and then if more copies are needed, that's no problem.
Okay.
Dice Mary Beth que antes de todo van a discutir entre ellos mismos del concilio todas las opciones que tienen ahorita, las propuestas, y antes de abrirlo a todos nosotros para opinar. Y dice Jeff, solo para informar a todos que alguien trajo una cámara de video, está grabando lo que está pasando aquí, y él dice que es importante que todos sepan que está aquí. La señora pregunta qué va a hacer con la copia de este video, y él dice que va a hacer copias para cualquier persona que quiera, que algunas personas que no pudieron estar aquí esta noche pidieron esto, y va a dar copias al concilio también.
There was a Friday meeting with all the parents? Oh, the last one. Oh,
Quería saber si de verdad hubo un foro el viernes pasado con todos los padres, y dijo que no, era el foro que hace un mes que tuvimos.
one more question. You said after we have our discussion, we're going to open this up for comment. Now, I have a concern because we did have a lot of comments last week. A lot of comments, 28 names. And my concern is, I'm going to be honest about this, I want us to be able to put some kind of limit on that kind of comment, because we still have all the committee reports as well as old business that we have to get to. So that's my concern. Now,
Okay, si quiere introducir.
Dijo, pregunta ella si de verdad Mary Beth dijo que después de discutir entre el concilio que va a haber, que vamos a hablar nosotros, y dijo que sí, así es. Entonces Diane dice que quiere poner como un límite en cuánto podemos hablar. La semana pasada había como 28 personas hablando, y por cuestión de tiempo todavía tiene muchas cosas que hacer dentro de la reunión del concilio. Entonces quiere un límite de tiempo para discutir, para dejar tiempo para hacer todo de la reunión.
Madam Chair, one thing if I just interject, just to kind of give you some assistance here. In review of your agenda, on your agenda, there's nothing in there that indicates that there's public comment. Now, my recommendation would be is to, and I'll give you the letter here.
Should we have names up here to
That
participate?
addresses old and new business and how basically meeting should be called. But the thing is, OC, once you open it, you cannot add anything to your agenda new.
So, well, my understanding is this is the way LSC meetings have been run at this school for many, many years, and we allow public comment, and we allow public comment as the meeting is progressing. That's how we've always done things, and that's how we've handled the meetings in the
Let me just
past
give you this
month.
letter from the Board of Education and you can share it. I'm just giving you a suggestion.
So you're suggesting that parents did not participate in this process?
I didn't say I'm just giving you what's in the law.
Okay.
Dice el señor que según la
I
ley,
got copies for everyone if you'd like.
que ahorita no está en la agenda.
we can put it to a vote how much open comment we're going to have. I have absolutely no problem with doing that. I understand what's happened in the past, but I also understand that we have a whole full agenda, and I would prefer to see a limit put. Now, do we want to put it to a vote? Let's put it to a vote. I'll make a motion.
To put a vote to.
Yeah, to limit the amount of open comment that we have.
I move that we have 15 minutes of public comment at the end of this, just at the end of this agenda item.
La,
After the vote, after we vote, right, according to the law, we should not change the agenda.
We changed the agenda because the principal requested to speak first.
Okay, but right now.
And this is now the first point on the agenda.
Right, but we are also going to make a decision on how much open comment we have, and we're going to make that decision now. Okay.
La moción de Judy es que va a haber 15 minutos para que el grupo aquí puede opinar de lo que están hablando ellos. Y la segunda fue por, no sé, alguien más de allí.
I'm sorry, can I just make one comment? This letter that you've given us just talks about that we cannot vote on anything under the new business that is not on the agenda. But this point that we are talking about now is the first item on the agenda.
But it must be specifically stated on the agenda 48 hours in advance.
It has been, and it's been posted. It's the Principal Selection Committee decision on the teacher proposal, parent positions, and staff position. That is what we are addressing right now.
All I can do is recommend and suggest to you that any item on any agenda
I understand that.
must be specifically stated on your agenda.
I understand that, and it is.
Recommend.
Do we have a
This
motion
guy's
on the
name is
floor?
not on the list.
There's a motion on
His
the
name is not on the list to speak.
We're not going out.
What is that?
Democratic way, you can speak.
His name goes on the list.
Shall I move that we have 15 minutes of public comment regarding this issue? Do you want to do it right now, or do you want to do it after we have our discussion? After our discussion? Okay, after our discussion.
Excuse me?
It was seconded? All those in favor? Aye.
Wait, just a second. We don't know who voted, we don't know what the motion was. The motion was for 15 minutes, and who seconded?
I seconded.
Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 voted in favor. And then we have a point of interest or... well, there was in favor, opposition, I'm opposed, and any abstentions.
I'm okay.
Entonces solo va a haber 15 minutos de hablar después de que ellos hablen del punto. O sea, tenemos
No, so 8 voted in
15
favor.
minutos.
And was there a point of clarification? And then I really would like for us to have a discussion. Was there one point of clarification?
Does that 15 minutes include the translation?
Yes.
Entonces el 15 minutos incluye también la traducción de lo que decimos y ellos dijeron que sí.
So that means it's 7.5 minutes.
Well, at our last meeting, I understood that there were some other proposals for, and so that's what I would like to hear now. I heard that people were not ready to vote on the motion that we had at the last meeting, and I understood there were other proposals.
Did I get an answer? I'm sorry.
Apparently, yes.
If you'd like us to revote it, we'll revote it.
It includes it.
15 minutes total.
Dice Mary Beth que en la última reunión tenía entendida que había otras propuestas de cómo formar, o sea, cómo seleccionar las personas del comité, o sea, cómo elegir las personas del comité. Entonces, y también había miembros que no estaban listos en la última reunión ya votar, entonces están dejando, ella quiere saber lo que dicen los demás o las otras propuestas para el comité.
I've heard that there are a lot of people who are interested in being on this committee, more than just PPLC, more than just filling. And I would propose that we have a lottery, so that anyone who were interested could put their name in the lottery, and it would be democratic, well, it's a lottery, and it would be fair. That's my proposal.
La propuesta o sea, dice Diane que para ella conoce a muchas personas que quieren formar parte del comité. No solo los maestros del comité de PPLC y no solo los padres de FELE. Entonces, para ella, su propuesta es abrir estos 8 espacios a una lotería para que todos puedan meter su nombre y sea justo para todos, o sea, todos tienen oportunidad de participar.
I've also had this discussion before about it being an open process to the whole school community, not just individuals that we've already heard about the PPLC and the officers of Philly. I'm sure they're doing a great job in their positions as Philly, but I also recall when the elections were for Philly, that their position was for fundraising, activities within the school. Philly has evolved as well, and that's one of it that's going down in their rules as well. But I don't recall in the Philly meetings of anything being about principal selection. Even when Philly was first introduced, when the words Philly were first introduced here on this principal selection, I don't recall the individuals of Philly being, and I respect them, and they're doing a great job, and this isn't, but I want to be fair to all the other parents who also have been involved in the school, and to everyone, you know, not just the PPLC. I want to be open, and we're going to be open to everybody. We're going to be inclusive. Let it be open to everyone, whether it be staff or whether it be parents. My whole discussion is let it be open to everyone. When we had heard a proposal from the teachers, they had mentioned that there was a second option. Now, I asked about the second option a little. We talked about it a little, but you know, one of the questions I ask now is, how many other teachers also want to participate other than the PPLC? Were there more teachers that wanted to participate? I'm just curious to ask that question to the teachers.
El señor Fabián dice que, como ha dicho antes, quiere que este proceso de elegir las personas para el comité sea abierto y entonces él dice que las personas de FELE están haciendo un buen trabajo, pero fueron elegidos para recaudar fondos, hacer otros trabajos en la escuela. No saben nada de que los de FELE fueron elegidos para participar en elegir nuevo director o directora. Entonces, y también para los maestros, él quiere saber si de verdad hay otros maestros que quieren participar en este comité, no solo los que fueron elegidos por parte de los mismos maestros. Entonces, quiere que el proceso sea abierto para los padres y los maestros para dejar a todos poder participar si quieren, o tener el chance de participar.
Yeah, there were a lot of teachers that wanted, there were 21 teachers that signed up to, or indicated their interest in being in that committee. However, when you're doing a lottery, we're taking the chance that the different cycles are not represented in the lottery. That's why when we did even the two different proposals that we presented, we ensured that the different cycles were represented, because that's how the majority, all of us felt that we needed to have that representation in the selection committee process. Maritza and I represent the upper cycle, so you know, we gave up that upper cycle position. So we need, a lottery is not going to work for representation for the teachers.
And I just wanted to clarify that that wasn't an option either. There were the two proposals, like you had mentioned, that faculty, that was never considered that lottery would be one of the options. That's not what faculty wanted. They wanted the PPLC or
the other
proposal
was, no, it wasn't a lottery. The other proposal was that among the faculty per cycle, help me out. Yeah, each cycle will, among those interested in participating in the selection committee. So, sort of like the PPLC, in which everybody voted to have the PPLC. If the other option will be taken, then cycles will be, they will elect, I guess, among their cycles, who will represent their cycles. Excuse me, their cycles.
Would you like to translate, Monica?
Yeah. Hubieron 21 maestros que indicó su interés en estar en este comité. Les estoy diciendo a los miembros del concilio que una lotería para nosotros los maestros no va a trabajar. Nosotros los maestros necesitamos que todos los ciclos estén representados. La maestra Soto y yo representamos el ciclo superior, entonces ya el ciclo superior está representado. Esa fue la forma de que nosotros decidimos. El PPLC es uno de los comités que están adentro de la escuela que representan todos los ciclos. Hay otros comités, pero este fue el comité que se votó por los maestros. La otra opción tampoco no fue lotería, me está preguntando Miriam. La otra opción fue que por ciclo se decidía, ¿verdad? Por ciclo se seleccionaba entre los maestros que están interesados en participar, quiénes son los que se votan, ¿no? Por votación también. O sea, si en un ciclo hay 4 maestros que están interesados, el ciclo por votación decide quiénes son los que van a estar representados. Pero para nosotros los maestros, lotería así, como se dice, con a ojos cerrados, no va a trabajar.
That was what I wanted to, that was my point of clarification, because a lottery for, especially for the faculty, at this point, I think my understanding is the two of you handled the process very well, that it was a democratic process amongst the faculty members, that they were deciding between these 2 proposals, and that they took the criteria that we had talked about, that they took that into consideration. And that with the PPLC, there's 4 Latino on the PPLC and 3 Caucasians, that there is representation from every cycle, that there actually is even one of the male faculty members is on the PPLC. So the criteria that Jeff had thrown out for us, that it represent the demographics of the school, Latino, that there'd be, at least some male representation, that there be some faculty that have been here for longer than 10 years and faculty that have been here less than 10 years. And so it feels to me like the faculty had a really inclusive process, and that's what they voted on. And we wouldn't get that with a lottery. And I think the bottom line too is to respect what the teachers have done, is what I feel. I mean, they went through a really positive democratic process. And I feel very strongly that we need to respect that.
Dice Mary Beth que para ella entiende que el proceso que llevaron los maestros para decidir esto fue democrático y abierto, y felicita a las dos maestras por el trabajo de llevar lo que decidió el concilio a los maestros para hacer esta votación, y que realmente lo que decidieron los maestros representa realmente lo que es nuestra escuela. Hay como 4 latinos en este grupo, 3 que no son latinos, hay un hombre, hay pocos maestros hombres aquí, entonces hay un hombre, hay unos maestros que no han estado aquí muchos años, más de 10 años, y unos que menos. Entonces realmente el criterio que explicó Jeff que quería, realmente cumple esto, lo que dicen los maestros. Pero más que todo para Maribeth es que es importante el concilio respetar lo que decidieron los maestros, respetar esto.
I have a question, Monica, a couple of questions, because you had commented that there were about 21 teachers who expressed an interest in being on this committee. Now, I understand that there should be a way for at least them to have a chance to, my way of thinking, a chance to be on this committee. What I'm wondering about is the possibility or the feasibility of a lottery by cycle.
Pregunta Diane, tiene 2 preguntas. Primero, tiene entendido que hay 21 maestros que quieren participar en el comité. Entonces, ella quiere buscar una manera para que todos los 21 tengan la oportunidad de poder ser elegido para el comité. Entonces, hay una manera de hacer una lotería por ciclo, y así que cada ciclo es representado así.
You asking if there is a way, if there is a feasibility or probability. I mean, the answer is, technically there is a feasibility, there is a probability, but that's not the way we want it to be done. The way we wanted it was, the way we did it was selecting the teachers is, I mean, in that point of view, I mean, can we do a lottery? I mean, the answer is yes, of course, anybody can do a lottery. Do we want to do a lottery? Is because if we wanted to do a lottery, I think we would have done it. Then I don't know, I'm just saying that if that's how we wanted it done, then that's how we, okay, lo voy a traducir. Que si se puede hacer lotería o si se quiere hacer lotería, la respuesta es que si se puede, sí, obviamente, porque una lotería se puede hacer. Que si queremos hacer la lotería, pues si lo hubiéramos querido hacer, lo hubiéramos hecho cuando decidimos este proceso. Para nosotros, creo, como maestros, regresar al proceso es imposible, porque ya eso se decidió. Ahora yo creo que, estoy hablando de la representación de maestros, tenemos que seguir adelante como ya se decidió.
I just wanted to add that having a lottery for each cycle was something that I think I proposed and they turned it down. Because they liked the other two proposals. We had 7 proposals that we voted on, and then those 2 were the last ones. You know, the ones that kept getting more votes, then the other ones were erased, and those were, so we kept on voting on those and eliminating the ones that had less votes. And then, so I used to call it the combination, but it only got 3 votes, and the other 2 proposals got other people liked it better. So then eventually the BPLC was the one that got more votes. Que le estaba diciendo en español que eso que está proponiendo Diane, que sería hacer una lotería por ciclo, fue algo que yo les propuse a los maestros, pero no tuvo muchos votos. O sea que las otras propuestas, la gente las escuchó todas y votaron, las otras les gustó más. Finalmente lo del PPLC, todo el mundo estuvo de acuerdo. Bueno, no todo el mundo, pero fue la mayoría de los votos.
If I may ask a question, Maritza, were all teachers aware that this was going to be voted on the day that it was brought? Was there an agenda item? Was this voted? And were all the teachers present for the vote?
That day when we got there, I thought we were going to discuss qualifications for the candidate, for the possible candidates. But meetings for the Fridays are a little dynamic. We do write an agenda, and then, you know, sorry for the agenda being changed, but, you know, things happen, and people, usually we go by, if something needs to be clarified or people have any concerns, it's healthy to discuss that first. And we see the thing the issue that changed our agenda, and I wasn't aware of that, it was going to happen, was that we had the forum here on the previous Wednesday. So when we all got together, the teachers, and on the Friday, the people had those concerns about what was going to be the next step discussed, and they wanted to discuss, okay, let's talk about the way we want to, you know, use those 6 positions that we have. So they decided to vote on that. So it just happened, you know.
Point of information, aren't all teachers mandated to go to these meetings on their half days?
Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm unaware, you know, that would be administrative. If people need to be absent, I don't know. I have no control over that. So let me say it in Spanish. What was it? Oh, ese día nosotros tenemos una agenda como todos los viernes, pero había pasado el foro de los padres el miércoles antes y se suscitaron unas inquietudes, y entonces cuando llegamos a la reunión, pues eso era una cosa que los maestros necesitaban, hablar sobre eso, y entonces pues se hizo eso primero, y se pospuso algunas cosas que estaban en la agenda. Y las agendas pues son más dinámicas para las reuniones de los maestros los viernes. O sea, guardan un patrón, pero cuando hay una necesidad, pues se debe atender en el momento. Okay. Eso sí, going back to your question, I'm sorry, and it's our discussion, we're still in discussion, right? The auxiliary teachers, the specials teachers, they have a special schedule, and they have time on the Friday afternoons. That's when they have their prep, I understand. So the fact that they're not there, we all know that that's when they have their prep period, right? Because they work all these classes, all these days. So the only time they were able to schedule so that it would work for everyone, fit it in is the Friday afternoons. So they are not there because that's how their schedule works. You know, it's not that they were absent. That's how their schedule works. And sometimes I know that some people, when you know ahead of time that that's the time that you have off, if you're going to schedule appointments for this and that, I guess you do them. I don't know. So, eso lo digo en español, que hay son 4, ¿verdad? 4 maestros que son los que dan las clases especiales y ellos tienen, creo que lo tienen libre o es su periodo de capacitación o no sé. Son 3 maestros, la bibliotecaria no, pero ellos tienen ese tiempo, los viernes por las tardes, no le es requerido estar. Me corrige, ¿verdad?, la administración si estoy equivocada, pero eso, todos los maestros sabemos que los viernes por la tarde, pues ellos, es posible que no estén, porque ese es el tiempo que tienen disponible, de acuerdo a su horario.
To Monica Maritza, you know, my question was, we talked about this before when it was brought up, and I'll ask again. It goes back to, everybody's talking about how the PPLC was a fair election.
Explain to me.
Hello. Well, I thought we clarified that the PPLC weren't elected, they were basically appointed to their position. So when people say they were an elected process, that they ran against each other, or that it wasn't like that. So, I mean, I'm asking, the teachers are saying it was a fair democratic process, that the people in the PPLC were elected to those positions. And I've heard otherwise.
Okay, the committee, the PPLC committee was elected to represent the members as a whole, and the PPLC committee was elected that day to represent those 6 teacher vacancies in the principal selection committee. The members, and I think I explained this before, right? The members inside the committee, just like any committee in our school, is voluntarily. You know, every year, you know, you signed up for a committee and you rotate. You know, this year you serve in PPLC, next year, with the exception of Maritza and I, who have to be in PPLC, every year you rotate the committee. So if you're asking about the people being elected for the PPLC or for the social studies committee or for the math and science, technology, no. Because you as a teacher decide where you want to be. And if you're a math teacher, I guess you want to be in the math and science and technology committee. If you're a social studies and language arts teacher, you want to be in that committee. That's where you want to be. Los miembros del comité no son elegidos, como Mr. Muentes me pregunta. El comité fue seleccionado, pero los miembros ahí adentro son miembros del comité, así como hay todos miembros en toda la escuela que tenemos diferentes comités. Los otros miembros de los otros comités tampoco no son seleccionados así por votación. Cada uno selecciona su comité y de año a año queremos que usted haga, o sea, hagamos rotaciones según el interés del maestro. Si es maestro de matemáticas, va a ir al comité de matemáticas. Si es maestro de artes del lenguaje, va a ir a ese comité. Pero los miembros de adentro de esos comités no son elegidos como está preguntando.
Now, my next question is, just so I clarify this, when the elections took place, the votes went for the procedure and how the teachers felt that they wanted it to go. It was something like 20 to 14 or 19 to 10. Okay, so it was 19 to 10. I have two questions. Obviously, you explained why maybe some of the teachers weren't there and everybody heard. My question is, you know, and this is going to be basically what everybody keeps saying, fair elections, fair process. I'm just wondering how come it wasn't announced at least that something was of this nature was going to take place. You know, maybe it wasn't your responsibility. Maybe, like you said, it was ad hoc. You know, you said it yourselves, it was dynamic, and that's fine. But now you're also telling me there's 21 possible candidates that would like to partake in this. So, you know, how is it that there's 21 possible people that would like to participate, and yet at the same time you're telling me that it was 19 votes to 10? You know, I'm just going on the fact that there's 21 possible candidates of teachers that want to participate.
Fabian, do you want me to translate or do you want to do that?
No, I got it. Okay. La pregunta era que para las elecciones hemos decidido que, ¿sabe? Los maestros para PPLC no, en mi pensamiento, no fueron elegidos, fueron en un punto, dependiendo del punto que usted coge, fueron apuntados y fueron voluntarios por esos individuales maestros. No fue un proceso de elección, como dicen, ¿sabe? Como el concilio que fue un proceso de elección que fue anunciado. Hubieron maestros que no estuvieron allí, que no pudieron atender, pero ya explicaron por qué no pudieron atender. Mi pregunta es si iba a haber una posición, una decisión que era importante. ¿Por qué no hubo un anuncio, a lo menos para que ellos tengan una voz en papel o que sea? Porque cuando la elección estuvo, eran 19 a 10 votos que aprobaron el propósito que los maestros tuvieron. Pero como hay 21 candidatos que son maestros posibles que quieren participar, mi argumento es, hay 21 maestros que desean participar y yo le quiero dejar para cualquiera de ellos tenga la oportunidad. Yo no sé quién son, pero si ustedes o los padres, si ustedes no quieren participar, ese yo le respeto su opinión, pero hay mucha gente aquí que quiere participar, sea padre o maestro.
Point of information, of the 21 teachers who put their names down to...
No.
You can't do a point of information?
No. Point of information is for us up here.
But let's let Monica.
We have a question.
First, let's let Monica answer.
Because we had a whole process in the afternoon. Before we came down, Maritza explained we had 7 different proposals there. Before those even 7 different proposals, the question was asked, who would like to be in this committee? Okay. Those people who wanted to be in that committee, I wrote their names down because somehow, you know, the idea of having a proposal, 8 different proposals hadn't come up yet. Like, who wants to be in this committee? And, you know, okay, you. That's how I came up with 21. But not only 21 people voted. You have the entire staff that was there voting. At one point, I think, as a matter of fact, before PPLC was voted, the committee to be represented, the other proposal had more numbers. And that's how that proposal came up to go against PPLC. And then finally, when PPLC and the other proposal came out, then, you know, by elimination, we came out with that. But it doesn't mean because we had 21 people that want to be on that committee, only those 21 people were eligible to vote on this process. All the entire staff, teachers, that were there, teachers, I said, that were there, were able to vote. Porque tenemos 21 personas, 21 maestros que están interesados en el proceso, no significa que solamente 21 son elegibles o votaron. Por eso tenemos los números 19 y 10. Hubo abstenciones también, by the way, okay? So you have, inglés, español. Tenemos, hubo ese día como, yo creo que 31 o 32 maestros presentes. y de ellos 19 votaron por el PPLC y 10 votaron por el otro proposal, que no me acuerdo ni cómo lo llamamos, y 21 indicaron que tenían el interés, pero no quiere decir que esos fueron los únicos que votaron, porque todos los miembros que estuvieron ahí votaron.
I'm prepared to make a motion, so.
Well, can I, do we have other, thank you, I think you guys have explained it very, very clearly. Do we have other questions about the process for PPLC? And if there is any question that, I mean, it seems to me, hopefully if all the questions were answered, we can accept the faculty's proposal. Or do we still feel like there's another way to get no, I'm just asking if we feel like, I guess, I feel like we need to respect the teachers of the school.
Dice,
I'm just speaking. Well, I just wanted to express myself that I feel like we need to respect the decision that they've made, that the teachers voted, just like we were voted into office. If someone from outside came and said, oh no, the votes that were voted for you guys don't matter, CPS is going to come in and place whoever we want in those positions. That's what I feel like is happening. The faculty has voted on this, and they took into consideration criteria that we asked them to take into consideration. It's a very well-balanced committee, selection committee. And I don't think, unless somebody can explain otherwise what a lottery would get us, I don't see how a lottery would get us nearly as balanced a committee. I'd also like to say we want to move this process forward in a harmonious way. And what is the message we would be sending to the teachers of this school if we don't accept the process, the democratic process, and the decision that they've come to? What message are we trying to send people? I mean, we want a good balanced committee. They've given us a very well balanced committee. We want it to be fair. It was fair. They were democratically elected. By 19 to 10, even if the other faculty members had been there, it would not have changed the outcome of the vote. How many were absent? 3 or 4 were absent? 4. So it would not have changed the outcome of the vote. They had a responsibility to be there just like every other Friday meeting. But is it our place to say that, or is it the faculty's?
It's the LSC's job to seat the committee.
Right.
And nobody is arguing with the fact that that it was decided by a vote for PPLC to be the committee. What I'm disputing is how the people on PPLC got on PPLC. That was not democratic.
But that's not an issue.
That to me, it's an issue. I think I have all the utmost respect for what they do. However, what I would like to see, and I'm going to be honest about this, I would like to see some type of lottery to allow the 21 people who expressed an interest to at least have the opportunity to serve on this committee.
But then how will we get it well balanced? How will we get Latinos and Caucasians and grade representation and faculty who've been here greater than 10 years and faculty who haven't been here 10 years?
In the same way that the LSC, the people that you see up here were voted like that, and we represent. So I think we open it up to a lottery.
Excuse me, I just want to make a comment because I've been waiting for a couple minutes now. A lottery is not an election. So we did not hold a lottery, hold the applause, we did not hold a lottery to vote for the local school council. And yes, it is true that it is up to the local school council to seat the committee. We have all the power, that's true. But we also have a duty to respect the members of the school community. And if we abdicate that duty, we are sending a really negative message. We are not moving forward in a harmonious way, which is what Mary Beth just stated. I'm 100% in agreement. And I also want to point out that I've stated all this on emails to the local school council, but I have reread the Open Meetings Act, and any deliberations that go on, whether it's about the principal selection committee, the Open Meetings Act states that let me look for the exact quote. Sorry for this. But I'm going to quote, the particular discussion need not be aimed at reaching an immediate decision to be considered, in order to be considered a deliberative discussion of public business. Any discussion that we have about the principal selection committee should be done publicly, and that includes any business that we're doing. So I feel like I just got railroaded a little while ago in terms of the 15 minutes. I feel like there was a decision that was made before we didn't discuss it. I feel like there was a decision that was made before it was voted. But I'm not saying that happened, but I'm saying I got the impression that a discussion happened that was relevant to the transaction of business of the local school council. And my point is that open discussions are important, and that is the intent of the Open Meetings Act. And so we're having an open discussion about the principal selection committee right now, and we've heard from both teachers that they were part of the process, that they feel that it was inclusive, and I don't think it's fair for the local school council to just overturn a democratic process. And it's not only not fair, it's going to send a very negative message, and it will damage the ability to select a principal. We're losing sight and getting bogged down in process. We're not paying attention to what we're being charged with responsibility for. Our responsibility is to choose the best principal we can get, and we aren't going to get the best committee by having a lottery. It's just leaving it to chance. It's not. I mean, I understand the desire to be fair, but I think respecting the teachers is part of being fair.
I guess I'll try to translate what just happened. Mary Beth empezó por decir que realmente hay que respetar lo que decidieron los maestros. Hay que respetar esto. Que si el concilio realmente va a ir en contra de lo que ya decidieron los maestros, ¿cuál es el mensaje que el concilio está mandando o que está dando a todos los maestros y a la escuela? Que no respetamos a los maestros. Diane a la vez dice, este comité de PPLC no fue elegido, el comité en sí. Entonces ese es el problema para ella, y mejor, para dar chance a todos los 21 que quieren participar, es mejor una lotería, dice. Y después dice David que también dice que tiene que respetar a lo que decidieron los maestros, y lo que acaba de decir los dos maestras que son parte del comité, que hay que respetar esto. Y que realmente lo que es justo es el voto que tenían los maestros, que la lotería no es democrático. La lotería es tirar todo en el aire y a ver lo que cae, y eso no es democrático. Y para este proceso es muy importante ya empezar, y si van a votar en contra de lo que decidieron los maestros, realmente no van a tener confianza en el comité. Va a haber un gran problema de eso, que el mismo concilio está votando en contra de los maestros, y yo creo que es esto, que el proceso de los maestros fue un proceso muy bueno y democrático, hay que respetarlo. Pero okay, I hope that was it. Yeah. Y también él explicó de las reuniones abiertas. I didn't understand exactly what they were saying about that. I'm sorry. Maybe someone else in Spanish would say what he said about the open meeting.
What the open meetings?
Just that any discussion we have about any deliberation, not only decisions, but deliberation or arguments, points of disagreement, have to be debated openly.
Okay. Y que dice que según la ley, todas las decisiones que tomen ellos tienen que discutirlo abiertamente en frente de todos.
And what I meant by I felt like I got railroaded is I feel like a decision was made about a point of process without a discussion before the motion was put out, and then a vote was taken and the votes were already ready to go and
y dice que,
got put forward. So I suspect that there was a discussion about that motion without it being openly discussed.
Él dice eso de que tiene que discutir las cosas abiertamente, porque esta cosa de los 15 minutos, parece que había moción de 15 minutos, votaron rápido sin discutirlo, y parece que ya habían discutido esto antes de la reunión, y eso no se puede hacer. O sea, no dice que sí pasó, pero así siente que pasó porque fue tan rápido así, que tal vez discutieron esto antes de la reunión, y eso va en contra de lo que tiene que hacer el concilio.
I have been talking for weeks about trying to
get a handle on the public comment, not because I don't want to hear from everyone, but because we don't want to be here past 9 o'clock because that is when the school closes. So it is not that we don't want to hear from everybody. If we'd like to have more forums, if we'd like to have more participation, I'm all for that. But we have a full agenda still, and that is why I've been talking about finding a way so that we can hear from everybody, but we still need to get home by a decent hour.
Para Judy, por semanas ha dicho que es importante escuchar lo que queremos nosotros aquí, pero a la vez tenemos que salir antes de las 9, es muy importante. Entonces ella estaba buscando una manera de escuchar a todos, pero al mismo tiempo cortarlo para que todos puedan ir. Hay muchas cosas que tienen que hablar todavía, y si tenemos que tener más foros o más reuniones va a ser mucho mejor.
I just want to say, if we were going to talk about respect, I don't think, even if it's 1, 2, or 3, I don't think it's right to exclude the teachers. We should let them hear their voices. Just that's not respectful. I mean, even if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, even if it doesn't make the difference, they got the right to vote and they got the right to be here.
Él dice,
Dante dice que aunque sea 1 o 2 maestros, lo que sea, que si él quería participar y fue excluido, que él cree que si estamos hablando de respeto, pues entonces eso también él quería ver como señal de respeto que esos maestros que querían participar, que participaran.
I guess I'm not 100% sure as to still the reasons that we would not be in favor of this, just because we want a lottery just to make sure everybody was included, but everybody was included in the process, and everybody was included in voting. So I throw that out, and the other thing is, do we really think a lottery is going to get a committee that is going to be representative of, as representative as this is? And once again, we want to move forward, and we need to think about the message that we're sending to our faculty reps here and to all of the faculty at the school.
Dice 3 cosas. No entiende todavía, Mary Beth, por qué no están en favor de lo que decidieron los maestros. Dice que quieren lotería para que todos estén incluidos, pero todos fueron incluidos, todos los maestros fueron incluidos en el proceso. Número 2, pregunta si la lotería realmente es la mejor forma de formar un comité que representa toda la escuela, o sea, representa realmente cómo somos de escuela. Y al final dice que cuál mensaje están mandando ellos a sus 2 representantes de maestros y a los maestros de la escuela si no respetan lo que ya decidieron.
No, because then everyone else have to talk, boy, so you cannot do that either.
I'm prepared to make a motion because I've thought long and hard about this, heard from a lot of people, and I have a lot to say about this as it is encapsulated in a motion. I move that the selection process for the Principal Selection Committee be a lottery. This would be a lottery for the teachers by cycle, support staff, and the parents would have separate lotteries. The teacher lottery would be conducted on Friday, March 11th, 2005, after due notification of all teachers. The ESP would also have a lottery on the same day after due notification. Parent lottery would be held Wednesday, March 16th, 2005, after due notification, which would include notification to be sent home to parents no later than Friday, March 11th, with a reminder notice to be sent on Wednesday, March 16th. Is there a second?
Second.
How do we handle
La moción.
How do we know, the point was brought up earlier, how do we know that every single parent is going to get that number? Every single parent has to know Every single parent has to
We all
sign
have
it,
to talk.
Every
If we have to talk, then we all have to
single
talk.
person
So I don't think that it's fair
has to verify that you got it.
para que no haya orden.
No hay
Si
orden.
no hay orden, no hay orden. Nos vamos a hablar todos, nos hablamos todos.
Judy dice que ha escuchado muchas cosas durante estas semanas y ahora está dispuesta a hacer una moción. Y la moción es la siguiente: que sea lotería para escoger los maestros y los padres extras del comité. Que la lotería, perdón.
El maestro lotería por ciclo.
Sí, ahorita voy a explicar, gracias. Que para los maestros va a ser por ciclo la lotería, que para los otros empleados de la escuela, que va a tener su lotería también, y que los padres van a tener su propia lotería. La lotería para los maestros y la otra facultad de la escuela va a ser el 11 de marzo y van a notificar a todos antes de esto. La lotería para los padres va a ser el 16 de marzo y que van a mandar una nota este viernes y otro la próxima semana para recordar a los padres que va a haber lotería. Y había un segundo también.
I need to ask for some parliamentary clarification. We had a motion from our last meeting that was tabled, which relates to this. Can we address this before we address our other motion? And I honestly...
You're not required to take a table motion from the table until you move to do so. You can conduct other business prior to that.
Which we did do, and our intent here was to have a discussion amongst us, and then we were going to open it up for 15 minutes for discussion because we had the tabled motion that we were going to address. I feel that to address this without addressing the motion that was tabled at our last meeting was not the intent of this process. The intent of this process was to have a discussion, and then to open up to discussion to the floor.
We can't hear you, Diane.
So I just...
What I said was, last week, if I remember correctly, we had, what was it, almost an hour worth of discussion on the motion that was left on the floor. So I don't think we need any more discussion on that. Now, if you want us to vote on that motion, we can do that, but I don't see why we would have to have another 15, 20, or 5 minutes since we've already discussed it.
But
anyway, this conversation is up here. Anyway, so if we want to make a vote, have a vote on that last motion, I think we should, but without any discussion.
Well, our plan here was we were going to have discussion here, and then we were going to open up for 15 minutes of discussion without a motion. And I guess what I am concerned about is that we have not done that, and that we have a motion from our previous meeting that was tabled. But it relates to this.
So you would have to make a motion to take it off the table.
Which wouldn't be in order right now because you've got a motion on the table already.
I know that, but it relates to this, and it relates to exactly what we're talking about.
Now, you asked for parliamentarian clarification.
I did.
And you got the clarification, so are we going to vote on this motion that's on the table now?
Our process has been, we open it up to discussion, and that's what we
And
were
we
going
had-
to do
and we
before we
decided-
even had a motion. Because we were going to open up to discussion before we had a motion.
Is that what we said, we're going to open it up before a motion?
We were going to have 15 minutes, we were
Right.
going to
No, I
discuss
thought it was
amongst
15
ourselves,
minutes
and
of-
then we were going to open it up for discussion.
I thought, somebody help me here, but, no. Yeah, can you read back?
And
what
I
the
was
mo-
concerned about, because the motion that we tabled from last week directly relates to this. And so I feel like...
What was said?
No,
what was said?
I just feel like that needs to be addressed, and I'm asking, yes, I was asking the best way to do that.
We can vote on that.
What was stated was Judy Hooper moved that we allow for 15. Judy Hooper moved that we allow for 15 minutes of open discussion at the end of our discussion about the Principal Selection Committee. Linda Salazar Nielsen seconded the motion. 8 members voted in favor of the motion, 2 members opposed. Which, the way we didn't outline it clearly, but my understanding is when you have a motion, you have discussion, which we are having, our discussion, and then the way I read this is that we voted that, the LSC voted that 15 minutes of open discussion take place, and my understanding would be that that would take place before a vote.
Okay, well then, let's have a few minutes of discussion, and, I'm sorry.
Don't I get to speak to it first? Yes. Since I made the
Yeah, so we're gonna have.
Entonces, lo que acaba de pasar realmente es que hubo una moción, pero Mary Beth estaba preguntando que hubo una moción la semana pasada que dejaron en la mesa. Entonces quería saber si en la mesa si fue obligatorio realmente retomar esta moción esta vez. Y dijeron que no puedes dejar una moción en la mesa por cuando quieras. Pero Mary Beth dice que tenía entendido que el punto ahorita es, después de discutir, iba a abrirlo a todos nosotros opinar y que realmente iban a hablar de la moción en la mesa de la semana pasada. Pero lo que pasa ahorita es que tenemos una moción, tiene la segunda, entonces ahorita vamos a hablar de la moción que está en la mesa. Y Judy Hooper, por dar la moción, va a hablar primero. Y después estaban hablando de lo que fue la moción de los 15 minutos. Y para David realmente quiere decir que no iban a tener una moción, sino abrirlo a hablar todos nosotros antes de tener una moción.
I have 2 questions. One is for the lottery. It's incumbent on a teacher to present themselves as being interested in the lottery. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So one possibility, if we want to really unify the teachers, is we force a lottery down their throats, even though that's not what they want, and that they then, I think editorial comments were supposed to be kept out. Then they could, I guess, each grade cycle could have one person, the person who's on the PPLC, be the person who presents for the lottery. I just want to throw that out there as one way around forcing process that they're not, and I understand that they were not democratically elected. The PPLC is a voluntary committee, but I do understand that a majority of the teachers who were present at that meeting voted democratically. So I think this is a false argument. I think this is a big waste of time. I'm really frustrated by the whole idea that we're doing this open process when I really truly believe that what's really happening is we're subverting democracy and we're going against the wishes of the school community. And no applause, no applause, no applause.
Pregunta David si realmente los maestros que quieren participar en esta lotería tienen que presentarse, y dicen que sí. Entonces dice, una manera de hacerlo para los maestros es el miembro del PPLC que es dentro del ciclo va a ser el único que se mete su nombre en la lotería y así va a salir igual que fue. Es una manera que realmente lo que están haciendo ahorita con esta moción está dañando la democracia de la escuela y de los maestros.
Yeah, and I just wanted to ditto what David said. I just can't believe that we're going to go against, that people would go against what our faculty has clearly expressed, and that was a democratic process.
Dice Mary Beth que está de acuerdo con lo que dice David y no entiende cómo el concilio puede ir en contra de lo que decidieron los maestros.
No, I've got something to say about the motion. I have heard from a lot of parents. I know that that what I'm going to say is probably going to displease most of the people that are here, so please hold your rotten eggs and tomatoes until the very end. When this process began, we brought in Pure and we brought in representatives from CPS. Each gave us advice on how to proceed. We took their advice under consideration and respectfully disagreed. Tonight, the LSC must vote on a process that will take us through the principal selection to having a principal. It must be fair, unbiased, and representative of the whole school body. It is up to the LSC to seat this committee. I applaud all of the parents who have shown support for Fele, have spent countless hours working for the school and the greater good. And I don't think that that would be a bad way to go if, when the officers were elected last year, the understanding was that they would be in the principal selection committee. All parents in the school are members of Fele by definition. I have heard from many parents who wish to serve or at least have the opportunity to serve.
I wish to err on the side of inclusion, not exclusion. I have a problem with the teacher's method for choosing the PPLC to represent them on this committee. The PPLC is not elected, so no matter how many times we repeat that they are democratically elected, it doesn't make it true. At some point, do you want to, at what point do you want to translate?
Maybe stop there.
Okay.
Dice Judy que ha escuchado a muchos padres y lo que va a decir probablemente va en contra de lo que quieren la mayoría de acá, pero por favor guarden sus tomates podridos y manzanas podridas hasta el final. Dice que invitamos al principio del proceso, invitamos a Pure y al CPS para explicarnos cómo va el proceso y dijimos gracias pero no gracias. Esta noche vamos a elegir escoger el comité y tiene que ser justo y abierto el proceso. Y es el trabajo del concilio votar por esto. Ella felicita a todos los miembros de FELE por todo el trabajo que hacen en la escuela, pero durante las elecciones del FELE no fue parte de eso que iban a participar en un comité, parte de la razón por elegirlos. Dice que todos los padres y madres de la escuela realmente son parte de FELE, porque son parte de las familias en la escuela. Y hay muchos padres que no son de los 5 elegidos que quieren participar, entonces tenemos que dejarles chance de participar en el comité. En cuanto a los maestros, el PPLC no fue elegido. Podemos decirlo, pero el PPLC no fue elegido.
The only 2 people on the PPLC that are elected are Monica and Maritza. The day that the teachers discussed this and other options, not all of the teachers were present, nor was it on an agenda item that this would be voted on. To use the excuse that their absent teachers' votes would be irrelevant in changing the desired format marginalizes those teachers. That smacks of the backdoor politics that Chicago is famous for. Since 21 teachers would like the opportunity to participate, I would like to give them that opportunity. Unfortunately, when teachers here disagree or speak out, they are ostracized, criticized, and demoralized. If you cannot express a dissenting opinion without fear of reprisal, you do not have a democratic process, not a shining example of our philosophy or our school. Monica and Maritza, do you believe that the teachers here feel truly free to express themselves without fear of retaliation? Or have the politically correct speech police silenced them? That is not freedom, that's intimidation. People have a right to express their opinions and have a right to express dissent in a safe environment. The LSC has had very little opportunity to question the teachers about their process. Oh, I'm sorry, I am but a lowly parent. How dare I question their process? How divisive of me. I guess I should put aside my concerns and just go along to get along because that would be easier. Well, I guess in order to have unity, I have to give up my rights and my freedom of speech. Well, tonight I dare us to move beyond our fear and your preconceived ideas of who we are on this LSC. Let's have the most open, unbiased process possible, and I believe that would be a lottery.
Pregunta,
Thanks for counting.
dice ella, del PPLC, realmente solo habían 2 miembros del PPLC elegidos y fueron las 2 maestras del concilio. También no estaban presentes todos los 2 maestros para este voto, habían 3 o 4 no presentes. Y realmente para aceptar lo que hicieron los demás es dejar afuera los 4 que no estuvieron presentes para votar. Y eso para ella es como la política de Chicago de antes, o no sé si piensa que sigue de Chicago así, pero dice que tenemos que dejar chance a los 21 maestros que quieren participar, poder participar. Dice que acá, para decir lo que piensa uno, realmente ella dice que aquí en la escuela ahorita todo el mundo no puede opinar, porque hay policía de política en la escuela que no deja esto pasar. Y que realmente debe ser una escuela democrática, todos deben sentirse poder de hablar, pero ahorita esto no está pasando en la escuela. Y ella como madre, dice que realmente como concilio no han tenido tiempo ahorita realmente preguntar a los maestros de lo que pasó con el voto y todo. Y como madre, ella es solo una madre, pero sí quiere opinar de esto. En cuanto a unir la escuela, dice, para unir la escuela no voy a dejar mis derechos de hablar y opinar. Y tiene que ser un proceso entonces abierto para todos y justo, y para esto la única manera es una lotería. I hope I translated that okay. Espero que...
Can I clarify? Oh,
I wanted to answer. In terms of the teachers, Judy said something that is very important. It does go with my personality, so maybe another person would see it in a different way. I have perceived strong disagreement in some of my colleagues, but it's only disagreement. Some people are more passionate than others when they express their ideas. Above all of that, I have to say that my colleagues, 99% of my colleagues, still come to me, work with me. And they might have strong differences in ideas with me. The parents, the same thing. I have to say that is the truth in my heart. Some people are more vocal and they are very passionate, and we might have different ideas. And I might think that they are slightly misinformed about their ideas, but they might say, I'm new to the school and I don't know. So we argue about it, you see? But that doesn't go beyond that. I have received a lot of heat from a lot of people, but my personality is one that I ponder what I hear and what people, who's talking to me, is that really important? Coming from that person, it might be that I should let that go because it's not as important. I'm not going to give it, como dicen los mexicanos, no le voy a echar mucha salsa a esos tacos. Okay, so, but everyone doesn't respond the same way. Some people, if they feel intimidated, but that's part of their personality. There are people that walk around life afraid. Okay, and I'm sorry to say that, and they disappoint me. And I don't want my students to grow up to be like that. Okay, if you have your idea, you should, and you strongly believe in it. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm bound to be rejected. That's life. Okay, and I say it in front of my colleagues, and I say it in front of you. But to say that it's the fault of this person and the other person, that these other people don't speak up, no, it's their fault. They don't speak up. Now, I do agree with Judy in that there are strong differences in ideas, and some people need to improve on their amount of respect for each other's idea. Some people need to work on it. Okay, that's true. Okay, that's all quiero que le diga en español. Pues que yo como maestra no me he sentido en ningún momento intimidada porque unos compañeros míos pues tienen ideas diferentes a mí y algunos de ellos lo dicen de una forma más fuerte, otros más suave, pero yo siempre trabajo con el 99% de mis compañeros, yo trabajo y ellos vienen, aunque tengan, o sea, yo tengo compañeros que trabajan bien cerca de mí y tienen ideas bien diferentes de las mías, pero existe respeto en mis compañeros. Hay unas personas que tienen que aprender un poquito más a respetar las ideas diferentes, pero eso es bien poquito y no es, o sea, las personas que tienen miedo a expresar su opinión son personas que viven en miedo, que siempre donde quiera que se paran tienen miedo de expresar su opinión, y uno no debe ser así en la vida. Y yo, que soy chiquita, no tengo miedo de expresar mi opinión. Le digo aquí, le digo a mis compañeros, está de acuerdo, no está de acuerdo, pero El que vive con miedo, la culpa no es de la otra persona, ¿ok? Se intimida por cualquier cosita y siempre prefiere no hablar y no participar en el proceso. Y eso a mí me molesta, del que sea. Pero estoy de acuerdo con lo que está Judy diciendo, porque a veces se ve como una atmósfera que se pone tensa, porque la gente se acalora, porque se ponen tan apasionados diciendo sus cosas, que pierden la perspectiva de que el otro, pues mira, también tiene derecho a su idea y hay que respetársela. Y en eso tendrían algunas personas que mejorar un poquito. Gracias.
And I just wanted to address a couple of things that I think keep coming up that we're getting stuck on. The fact that there were 21 members of the faculty that wanted to participate is great. I think that's a fabulous thing. But just like we have 600 parents that want to participate, and we can't, every parent can't participate, every faculty member cannot participate. The PPLC are volunteer positions that is decided in the beginning of the year, but they were democratically elected for this committee. They weren't democratically, Monica and Maritza have said that to us many times, is how the system here at the school works, but they were democratically elected to represent the faculty on the principal selection committee. And I think it's really important that we understand the difference, and that, as I said before, that we respect that decision. No, we can't let all 21 participate, but the 21 who wanted to participate in the process did by participating in the democratic process that the teachers had. And maybe there's 10 of those on this committee. We don't know. There's never going to be 21 because we've only got 6 slots, so there's never going to be a possibility for the 21. But they did participate in the process that the faculty has already had. So.
Dice Mary Beth que hay un par de cosas que estamos dando vuelta y vuelta y quiere clarificar. Primero, qué bueno que hay 21 maestros que quieren participar en el comité.